The Daytona 500 on Fox is brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. 57 laps complete this time by, and look at this pack. Trouble off
trouble,
turn
big
four.
trouble.
Newman slams the wall.
Man.
Comes Schrader, and Newman is in the air and over. Ryan Newman, last year's Rookie of the Year. The rear end ripped from the car as he slides down the asphalt, and when that car hit the grass of the tri-oval, Ryan Newman went upside down.
Come on, boy, get out.
A crash on pit road. Bobby Labonte has slammed into Ken Schrader as Schrader slid through the infield grass.
And the problem was Schrader was already wrecked. They come down pit road. I don't think Schrader could control his car.
Ryan's moving in the car. So he is moving around trying to get out.
Not a whole lot he can do hanging there like that. I mean, he's got to have help. Pretty big boy. He doesn't want to.
Kenny Schrader's climbed out. Newman has signaled that he is okay. He is a strapping young fella.
Yes, he is.
Used to driving open-wheel sprint cars.
I mean, Darrell, this is a predicament trying to get unhooked out of that car upside down.
Well, you got seat belts, you got the Hans device. I mean, there's just so many things. You got to have help. Man, it ripped the rear end housing right out from under that race car. When it dug into that grass right there, it just started tearing the car apart.
Ryan Newman, USAC Silver Crown champ and Purdue University engineering graduate. He's going to climb out of that car with help, and here Bobby Labonte and Ken Schrader.
I think Schrader was in the grass, and he was going down through here, and I think his car must have gotten out of control, and Bobby Labonte was coming along, and he just slid over in front of him.
All right, you're looking down at Labonte's crew, looking to see if they have so much damage that they can't get back into the race.
There you see Ryan Newman right there.
Oh, yeah, he waved to the crowd. All right, buddy.
What a ride.
Second caution flag of the day. Newman's car got tipped into the outside wall and then slid through the infield. And when it got to the grass, it got airborne.
Let's watch her here and see what happens. Oh, Kenny Schrader got out of control, got into him. Oh, that's what happened, Mike. His right rear tire came off. Car goes airborne. Then when it hits the ground, it digs in and just rips it apart. Let me tell you, the way these cars are inside, he's like he's in a capsule in there. And so these cars, they've done such an incredibly good job with the safety and protecting the driver in these cars. Look at that thing lift up, Larry.
Just takes off like an airplane.
That's 3,400 pounds, folks, just lifting up in the air like a feather.
And the right rear wheel digs into the dirt and tears the whole rear end loose from the car.
Yeah, if the tire hadn't come off of the wheel, it probably wouldn't have turned over like that. But once the tire came off, and it dug in and flipped it.
Now, when Schrader's car was heading down pit road, he was basically a passenger because the front end of his car had been heavily damaged.
And I think that's what happened at the end of pit road. He just couldn't control his car.
Yeah, here they come. Here comes Schrader. You can see the whole right side. Well, back there, his right side's all torn. Of course, he got into the wall.
The best news, driver number 12, Ryan Newman, climbed out of that car unhurt.
Look at that Dale Jarrett's car. Wow. What a sight to see out your windshield.
I'll tell you what, I've seen Ricky Rudd flip here. I've seen Rusty Wallace flip here. I've seen Richie Petty flip here. Dale Earnhardt flip here. I've flipped here. We've all walked away. It's been quite amazing how they've got these cars designed.
That's a testimony to what NASCAR's done for the safety of these cars.
That's why when they tell you to fix something or change something, you don't hesitate. You do it.
Kenny Schrader and Bobby Labonte's crew are trying to see if they can get back in this race. Two drivers and all of us are going to take a minute to get our head back into the game. The Daytona 500 continues on Fox after this. The Daytona 500 on Fox is brought to you by Aaron's Sales and Lease Ownership. Let Aaron's drive your dreams home today. By Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. By Pepsi-Cola, experience the joy of Pepsi. And by Singular Wireless, national coverage, affordable calling plans, and a really fast car. We're under caution here at Daytona. Ryan Newman gets upside down, but Darrell, looked like Kenny Schrader might have had a little push.
Yeah, I think he may have gotten a little tap from behind by Ward Burton, the way it looked. Kenny was coming up off turn 4 there. I believe he must have had to lift up out. Well, no, there's what happened, I believe. Rusty Wallace came over in front of Kenny. He had to let out the throttle a little bit to let Rusty in. And when he did, he got hit from behind by Ward, who had a run on him.
A chain reaction. And watch number 12, Ryan Newman.
I think all of that action there was because that right rear tire came off. It let air get up under the car. It lifted the car up, and then it dug in there in the grass and just tore it all to pieces.
That kind of puts it in perspective.
Ken Schrader's gone behind the wall. Let's go to Chris Myers with the Visa Race Break.
And we come to you from the Hollywood Hotel just above the Victory Lane. This is a Visa Race Break. We've had 4 different leaders. Second caution, and it was on lap 57. You saw Ryan Newman able to walk away from that accident, a 3-car accident, and has been taken to the care center. We'll give you an update. Appeared to be okay. Dale Earnhardt Jr., your leader, and some raindrops apparently falling in the area. But let's get out to the cutaway car, and Jeff Hammond will explain how Ryan Newman was able to survive because of the way that the car is put together, that wild, spectacular crash. Jeff?
That's right, Chris. Right now, let's take a look at what NASCAR has made. A lot of these cars have got to be like this because of safety issues. First and foremost, the window net that keeps your arms and your head from getting outside the car. And you look inside here, you see a lot of material as far as the roll cage structure. This halo bar that goes around the driver's head. There's a bar right beside his head that kind of protects it right here in the center, as well as this special seat that everybody's gone to keep your head protected while it's bouncing around. When that car is flipping upside down, think about Ryan's head sitting in here. Instead of just flopping right to left, it's actually being secured inside this really massive headrest, as well as these 6-point system as far as the restraints are concerned that hold him in this place. As far as the seat is, he's got to be held really tight inside that capsule that Darrell is talking about. This is the driver capsule. It's got to be built really, really strong in the event of an accident, just like we just seen. And you can see how well it held up. Now, one thing that you saw, this is the rear end housing underneath our cutaway car. It's intact. You can see the spring over here, the truck arm. But what happened when the wheel got ripped loose, or the tire got ripped off, the wheel dug in, and it ripped. Let's look over here at the cutaway housing. It ripped the entire housing from underneath this race car. It literally ripped the springs. You saw the springs flying out and through there. This whole entire housing was ripped completely from this race car. That's how violent of an accident it was. But you saw Ryan Newman be able to walk away because of NASCAR safety features. Chris?
Thank you very much. Jeff Hammond of the Ford cutaway car below the Hollywood Hotel. And many, of course, remember this is the track where Dale Earnhardt lost his life. But since that time, a number of safety improvements for the sport, and evidenced by Ryan Newman's car and him being able to walk away. Let's go back upstairs now, and Mike Joy.
With Ryan Newman's build, he could likely have been a linebacker for Purdue. And these drivers, Darrell, they don't just show up Sunday and race. They have really stringent conditioning programs to help them endure a wild flipping crash like Newman just went through.
Listen, let me tell you, when people say race drivers aren't athletes, they just do not understand what these drivers go through on Sunday. Watch, here's Ward. He tips, gets in the left rear of Kenny Schrader. Schrader then goes over to the right. Hits the wall. Now here comes the car hard. That's hard impact right there already. See that opening right there?
That's probably what ripped the rear end out from underneath that race car.
Exactly. It ripped the tire off of it. Yeah.
Ripped the tire off the rear end.
Yeah. But Mike, I just want to tell you, these guys work out hard and heavy 3 days a week. They run. Their stamina is great. They are physically fit. They watch what they eat. They train hard to be able to tolerate these kinds of conditions.
Now, as Newman's car was in the air, Darrell, I saw either, well, not an exhaust pipe because those looked both intact. Looked like one of the truck arms had been ripped loose so that then when that rear end hit the ground, it could just easily fly away.
I mean, again, this is coming off turn 4. You're going to see Ward Burton in the 22 get into Kenny Schrader, the 49, gets into the side of Ryan Newman in the 12. And right here, this is what we were talking about. He's bouncing down the wall. There's an opening, and that's what ripped the tire off of it. But I'm going to tell you the thing that amazed me as I looked at that last replay. Jeff Hammond was showing the rear end housing, the trailing arms underneath that thing. Those are like steel I-beams, and they were almost bent double. That's just how violent that was. There you see those 2 trailing arms just flopping underneath there that holds the rear end in place.
And the cars really and truly, folks, when you see the car coming apart like that, that's good news. That's dissipating energy. As that car flies apart, It's slowing itself down, and it's not stopping suddenly and hurting the driver.
Rain begins to fall here at the Daytona International Speedway. This storm system has been moving across Florida all morning. It was expected to come in here sometime this afternoon. Here are the various scenarios. Hopefully we can get this race completed during this afternoon, get the track dry and get back to racing. If not, the track is lit for night racing. We've not completed 100 laps, which would be halfway and make this race official.